How do you get back the spark in your relationship? That's a really great question. And apparently, I've been living under a rock. There is a very large movement of people who believe masculine and feminine energy is integral to pleasure and sensuality. So, energies play a much bigger role in our lives and relationships than we think. Our sexuality is shaped by our early life experiences, our deep desires, and our needs, and how that reflects on our personality, our expansion path, and our compatibility with others. Your sexuality reflects your deepest traumas and desires. Sexual energy is creative energy, tied to what you most want but feel powerless to attain. By analyzing what arouses you and its emotional roots, you can uncover hidden wounds and unmet needs. This awareness can guide your healing, improve relationships, and help you consciously shape your life. So Danielle Epstein is a passionate advocate for understanding the psychological and neuroscience behind human connection. Her life's mission is to empower people to explore and deepen their sexuality, intimacy, and relationships through science-based insights and relatable truths about human behavior. Danielle helps individuals uncover profound truths about themselves, the opposite gender, and the keys to cultivating extraordinary intimacy. So without further ado, I'm really excited for you to hear what Danielle had to say in our interview. What is the masculine-feminine dynamic really about, and why does it matter?
Topic of masculinity and femininity is really misunderstood, in my opinion. There are a lot of misperceptions and myths that I'm hoping I'll bust with you today.
Woo!
So the first thing that I want to say about it is, if there's one thing you could take away from it, masculine and feminine energy are just energies, just that. They're not labels, they're not stereotypes, they're not the same thing as gender. Masculinity is not male, femininity is not female. They're just energies. And in that sense, they show up in how we act, how we communicate, how we carry ourselves throughout the world, in our values and our attitudes. All genders have both masculine and feminine energy. And we actually switch between these two energetic states thousands of times a day without really noticing it. So what are these energies? Masculine energy is an energy of competitiveness, protection, defensive, but like in a healthy way, if you will, like protecting your loved ones. It is an energy of being goal-oriented and driven and very focused. Feminine energy is a little bit different, or actually a lot of it different. It's all about emotional expression, creativity, nurturing, warmth, caretaking, intuition, and being empathetic, expressive, connected to people's emotions. There are times when it makes sense to be in your masculine. Like, for example, as women, if we're at work, we're often in our more masculine energy. And then there are times when it makes sense to be more in your feminine energy. Like, for example, if we're hanging out with our kids and if we're raising our children, we don't want to be as much in a masculine state and we want to be more in a feminine state in order to connect with them. So we switch between these energies all the time. And polarity, which is sort of like the other word that you often hear about when we talk about masculinity and femininity, is the magnetic attraction between these two ends of the spectrum. And when there's strong polarity, it creates strong attraction, strong desire, really good communication between two people in a relationship. And it makes the relationship more enjoyable, more effortless. But the same is true in the reverse as well. When there's weaker polarity, meaning that, both people are sort of occupying that same energetic space. You don't have one person really in their masculine and one person really in their feminine. So when there's weak polarity, when everybody's operating in the same space, tension goes up. So you have more bickering, more arguing. You're not as grateful or appreciative of your partner. This is when like things like cheating can happen if it's really extreme. You just start to feel more like roommates than you do like lovers. And so that's, in my mind, the concept about masculinity and femininity, what you really should know.
Find out this and so much more by subscribing to my Pursuit of Pleasure podcast. And please check out my free award-winning workbook and masterclass. Links will be in the description. And if you like this Pursuit of Pleasure podcast, then make sure to check out this next one.